Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Weekly Ring for Friday, November 10th. I'm your host, Ebony Duell. And every week I tell you guys, tweet us at Bell Media Group. Seems like Mr. Coleman has a lot of support for us, and I want you guys to have all the same support. I mean, we are on social media all day, aren't we? So I want you guys to tweet me at Bell Media Group, and I'll make sure I'll give you guys a special shout out next week. Bennett College launched an exciting new campaign this week. We will be telling you all about it throughout the show. Let's start with a message from Dr. Jeanette Abiko.
Here on this historic Bennett College campus, shall we say historic Bennett College campus, I am reaching out to all of you, my sisters. I am reaching out to you with respect for what the true sisterhood means. I'm reaching out to you with sisterly love. I am asking you to contribute to the Jeanette Abiko Scholarship for honors students at Bennett College. I am calling on you to help us launch this campaign.
Alderman Elementary School wants you to be a Wonder Woman and a mentor to their students. Contact Tyler Bynum at tylerbynum14@gmail.com to sign up. As you know, Bennett College is a melting pot for Black girl magic. Deja Sanford was at the GLC during the graduate school fair to see that in action.
For the next few weeks, Bennett will be using social media to bring awareness to the Jeanette Abiko crowdfunding campaign. This week's theme is the melting pot of Black girl magic. Black girl magic is a term used to illustrate the universal awesomeness of Black women. It's about celebrating anything we deem particularly dope, inspiring, or mind-blowing about ourselves. I was able to speak to a few Bennett Bells about what Black girl magic means to them and how they exemplify Black girl magic in their everyday lives here on Bennett's campus.
We do a lot of things. We are the pushing force and the drive for a lot of projects and different things for our culture. And I just feel like Black girl magic is simply a Black woman doing what she does best.
This homemade little face stuff I use is brown sugar, honey, and lemon juice. It'll make your face feel. You want to feel my face?
Yeah, let me see your face. Y'all, it is soft.
It's not fake, it's real.
To show off my Black girl magic, I am a chemistry major. I show off my Black girl magic in the STEM field because there's not many Black women in the STEM field, so it's something I'm very proud of. I often try to talk to my little sisters here on campus and tell them more, like get involved in sciences. I tutor them to make sure that they know that it's okay for them to love science and makeup.
Today is the last day to apply for the UNCF Bank of America Scholarship. Make sure you apply, but not right now. Apply right after the show. Here's some highlights from the program of yesterday's ACEs, Mindfulness, Media, and Mental Health. Afterwards, I hung around to talk to the program's innovators. Hi, this is Ebony Duell with Professor Jeffries from the JMS department and Dr. Campbell from the Psychology department. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
So can you guys tell me a little bit more about mindfulness?
Well, mindfulness is a practice where you're just trying to be present in the moment. And we have so many distractions these days with our social media, and we tend to be really, really busy. And so the idea of taking some time out just to be still is important to our mental health.
And how does yoga help with mindfulness?
Yoga is a comprehensive process, a comprehensive practice that includes movement, it includes meditation, and it includes mindfulness. And so in yoga practice, you're trying to be mindful in all of that. So even if you're doing the poses that you're accustomed to seeing with yoga, you're still doing that in a mindful way, checking in where's my leg and what's happening with my knee and that kind of stuff. So all of the different elements of yoga have a mindfulness aspect to them.
And what are some other things that people can do to help with mindfulness?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do today, since we know that so many of our students enjoy social media, is show them how to incorporate apps into using mindfulness. So a lot of times people think, oh, mindfulness is just sitting still, but it also involves breathing, being present and in the moment. So one of the things that we did today at ACES was introduce them to a series of apps that they could actually use.
And how do you know when you're using social media too much?
If you have to check your phone while you're watching this interview, you're probably using social media too much.
So when you look at what's happening in your brain, the same thing that if you take a drink or you take a hit, something is happening in your brain. And that same thing is happening when you open up your Facebook or your Instagram and you got a lot of comments and you've got a lot of things. Literally what's going on in your brain is the development of an addiction. So here's my question for now. How many people are on their phone right now? Ooh! So what you can't see from this end is how many heads went up, because those heads were on their phone. So what does that mean? We're here talking about something, and you're somewhere else. You're whoever you're talking to on your phone, you're somewhere else, you're doing something else, and we've been here for how long? We've been here 40 minutes, and you haven't been off your phone for 40 minutes.
So what's the difference between being depressed or sad?
So that's going to be a difference of whether or not something is chronic or temporary. So we all have bad days. We might even have a bad week, right? But if you've had a bad month, then that's when we might need to start looking into whether or not you are depressed. And when it comes to depression, this is something that's clinically diagnosed. So you would actually need to go and have a clinician diagnose your depression. But you would seek out this after, say, 30 days of sadness. But if you have 1 or 2 bad days, or even a rough week, I think we can all attest to having a rough week. That's just a part of human behavior. But if it's chronic, meaning a consistent sadness that's lasted a month or longer, then that's when you need to go check that out.
And what's some advice you guys can give to somebody who's feeling like they're depressed? What's some ways to uplift yourself?
First, take yourself out of that moment. That would be where I'm starting. Because I know for myself, I might wake up some days and I'm just in a funk as soon as I wake up in the morning. But then I got to ask myself, why do I feel this way? Right? What is the rationale possibly behind this way? And sometimes it's hard to ask yourself those tough questions where, am I feeling sad when I woke up this morning because I stayed up too late? Am I behind on my tasks? Do I need a to-do list to get things back on track? So I would start with first asking myself, why am I feeling this way?
And sometimes you need someone to help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm a really big advocate of people going to counseling. And a lot of people are nervous or apprehensive about going. But it really is somebody who's a neutral person who is there for you and in your corner that can help you figure out what those things are that might be going on, to help you tease out what's really the problem. Because we do tend to want to just sort of suppress things. Oh, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. I'm all right. No big deal. And especially as Black women, we are here at Bennett College, there's a sense that we have to, the strong black woman myth, and we think we have to power through everything on our own. Sometimes you need some help, and sometimes that needs to be somebody who's trained to help you figure out how to untangle some of the moods and things that you have.
And here at Bennett College, as a part of your health services fee, you can get outsourced counseling dealing with anything from time management to depression, right? So if you go to health services, they can actually direct you to somewhere off campus if you feel more comfortable talking to someone off campus, because that's a part of your health services fee that you've already paid.
There is a new exhibit opening at Steele Hall. Come out to see the Conscience of Human Spirit, a quill exhibit in honor of Nelson Mandela. Check your email for more than 100, that's right, more than 100 job and internship opportunities. If you don't, beware. You may have to move back home or live on a friend's couch. Stay tuned for more Weekly Ring segments.
From my heart to yours, I'm calling on all of my sisters to contribute to the Jeanette Abiko Scholarship for honors students at Bennett College, a college for women. Support this scholarship fund. Especially I'm calling out these 5 sisters. I'm calling out Beverly Guy-Sheftall, C.C.H. Ponder. I'm calling out Deborah Lee. I'm calling out Ingrid Saunders-Jones. I'm calling out Susan Taylor. Come on, my sisters. Contribute to this scholarship fund, and then call out some of your sisters.
So today we're here in Belissa's studio, joining her for her segment, Mathemagics. How are you today, Belissa?
I'm fine, thank you.
And I brought Kyra Pierce with me because she's in my math class and Kyra struggles a little bit with math. So I thought maybe Belissa's segment could help her out. How are you doing today, Kyra?
I'm good, thanks.
So tell me, why do I always catch you sleeping in math class?
It's pretty boring.
What's boring about math?
The numbers and just, it's boring and confusing, honestly.
Well, I bet you Belissa can prove you wrong. Do you think she can prove you wrong?
We'll see.
I think you'll leave more interested in math. So, you guys ready?
Yeah. All right. Well, last week I showed you a Mobius loop, which is a loop with a half twist in it. This week I'm going to show you something cool to do with just normal loops. And Kyra's acting as my glamorous assistant. If I could get a piece of tape, please.
So, Kyra, this is about to get really interesting. You see the tape?
I think she may have seen tape before.
Yeah, I think it's pretty normal.
All right, so I'm going to tape these together at a 90-degree angle. And then I will cut them in half. So I'd like you guys to think about what you think will happen once I've cut it in half and how you think it might look.
So, Kyra, what do you think is going to happen?
I have no clue. It looks like just a bunch of loops to me right now.
I'm going to make the strange guess that it might be another bunch of loops. Like maybe it might go into 4 loops, multiples maybe.
Like magic.
Yeah.
Like magic.
I told you math is interesting.
You did.
Yeah. So you think you can start your own Mathemagics show?
I don't think so.
All right.
Never know.
So I'm going to cut these in half, and we'll see if you guys were correct. So on we go. So you said that numbers were boring to you. You should know that math isn't about numbers, it's about logic.
Okay.
So here you see that it turns into this odd shape. And then when we cut the second one in half, what does it become? A square. Isn't that interesting? You can see how you could reverse engineer your way from here to the loops, but you'd never expect a square when you start off, would you?
So that's definitely not what me or Kyra expected. But can you hold my mic for me 1 second, Belissa? Bring it to my mouth real quick. So when you see Kyra, picture her in this frame that Belissa made for her out of nothing but 2 circles.
All right, well, I have some very important math stuff to do, so I'd appreciate it if you would get out.
Well, I guess it's our cue to go. That's all we have for you this week, Bennett College. Contact us at Bell Media Group if you have an announcement, want to share a talent, want to start your own segment, or just tweet us to say hi, and you may get shout out on next week's episode of The Weekly Ring. Thanks for tuning in.